Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
You, my friend, got a haircut.
I did get a haircut, yes. It is now shorter.
Nice
Way
though.
shorter. It was like up to here before, I think, in the last video.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Raise me up a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know I could do this. Oh, sheesh. I
What'd you
just
figure out?
realized I can do a share of the live feed for
Mm-hmm.
everybody to jump in.
That's good to know.
Interesting.
We learn every day,
Interesting.
people.
Yeah. This is exciting.
It's a whole new world.
I come in. Do, do, do.
Yo, what is up?
Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. And sent. I successfully sent it to 1 billion people.
There we go.
Let's see. Alrighty. So we got a few things to talk about today. And we
Yep.
are going to do it in 28 minutes. So, okay, well, we usually start at 3 minutes in. So, we got about a minute left, maybe 30 seconds or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bit to go about, especially with Marvel. So I think a good format for these random ones is we do grow my beard back. No, it's gonna be a while. Hello, Heather. Hello. Um, I think the good format would be every couple weeks or so we'll do one, and we'll just ramble off about a certain universe, whether it be Image, DC, Marvel, and just pick key points about it and just go from there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
On the random ones, like we're doing today.
Right.
We're back to schedule on Wednesday again. And we'll be doing a regular one on Wednesday like we usually do. So let's see. Yes, yes, Kenny. I'm gonna put you on one of these one day. You'll be the fourth one in. So I told you Kenny works for Marvel and he works for a couple of other independent comic book companies as well.
Mm-hmm.
He has a book out, so plug, plug, plug. But we're already at 7:03, so let's get it started.
Yep.
Multiverse of Madness. Let's just get right into it. You saw it. I'm gonna see it on Friday. What are your thoughts?
And probably the weekend you see it, I'll be seeing it again. But my thoughts was, initially, I'll rate it how the same way I felt about Batman. I felt Batman was about an 8 out of 10. So I'll rank this amount about the same as Batman. Um, I liked the development for Doctor Strange. Like it all made sense what we've seen from the first Doctor Strange to Infinity War and Endgame, seeing him in Spider-Man No Way Home, him getting his second run at it. I really enjoyed it. He gets a great development. The multiverse is now a thing. It's wide open, which I'm hoping which has to lead to Secret Wars at some point, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I mean, they already announced that too, so
Yeah, right.
that's the thing. So sorry, continue.
And Wanda's arc. See, now, if you watch, and this is where I like how important they make the shows, because they gave Wanda essentially her own show, WandaVision. And the development that she got in there, one, merges perfectly into what we see in the movie. Perfectly. And two, I like that we're now getting these shows because you're fleshing out the characters more than you could on screen. Like now, after WandaVision and now after this movie, we've talked about it, her getting her own solo film. So I feel
It's
like,
supposed to be a trilogy, actually, right?
you said what?
It's supposed to be a trilogy.
Oh yeah, right. Yep. So I think I like that the shows mean a lot, and we get that through the shows. And man, it was just Sam Raimi definitely all over it for sure.
Yeah, all I've heard up and down is this is a Sam Raimi film for sure. This is elements of Evil Dead, elements of Army of Darkness, same franchise, elements of Drag Me to Hell, and it's just Sam Raimi all over. There's no way around it. It is him. It's him directing, and it's him also bringing in like hints of Spider-Man as well in the filmmaking and the comic book aspect of things. So I mean, everything I've seen so far looks like it's going to be amazing. You know what I mean? I haven't seen it yet. I was right about every single spoiler. I called every single one of them. And then the day you came over to talk about things, I showed you that one picture, and we were both like, all right, let's see what happens. And then later on that night, we both got that clip, which I can't tell you about. I can't say anything. Still, I'm not going to say anything until after I see the movie. But it was the one clip about a specific scene in this movie where all hell breaks loose, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, I'm really excited to see this movie in its entirety. I'll see it on Friday. I'm really excited to see where the multiverse goes. You and I talked about this earlier today, which is we got hints of WandaVision. I'm sorry, we got hints of House of M from the show with WandaVision, and we got hints of Avengers Assemble or Disassemble through this movie. You know, and from what we've seen, or from what I've seen as well, there's going to be a lot of that. And it's going to explore this whole multiverse madness craziness that's going to be happening. So, yeah, I guess the film does live up to its name, Multiverse of Madness, from everybody that's saying it and seen it. Let's just see where it goes. Because, like I said, we have Moon Knight, which we have the Link of the Gods and the whole mystic universe. We have the magical universe through Doctor Strange. We have the cosmic universe through Guardians of the Galaxy. And now Khan and all these other characters. And it's going to be crazy. And then now we got Gore the God Butcher coming in through Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Which has been said to be the most threatening villain and the most villainous villain.
Yes.
Of all the Marvel villains. So let's see what happens. I mean, there's a lot to look forward to, especially after this. There are certain things that I'm hearing, though, where the movie kind of shot itself in the foot in a couple aspects because of the pacing. And it's a little bit everywhere. I can't make that judgment. I won't be able to make that judgment till Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep on hearing that, yeah, it's all over the place. But then again, it's in the name, the Multiverse of Madness. I didn't expect this to be a straightforward film. I expected it to be a catalyst for something bigger.
Yes.
So,
I mean,
the next one. Good.
I could see where somebody would say that, but like you said, it's in the name. I think you said it perfectly. It's in the name. And while I don't want to say too much, but while it may be that, it makes sense. It drives the point home of, yeah, this is madness. It's like you said, you said it perfectly. It's in the name. So it drives that point home, which works to the film's benefit.
Yeah. I mean, look, even in comics, nothing is wrapped up in a single issue. I mean, given Stan Lee's whole view on comics was make every single issue the first one to be picked up. In other words, if you read it for the first time, it makes sense. You know? But what happens when you have a huge story arc? You know what I mean? Like something that links into like 5 different issues. You can't just pick it up and read it. You know?
No.
Not dogging Stan Lee in any way, shape, or form, but
At all.
that just doesn't always make sense, and especially in film. It's not going to translate. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Batman did beat it out in the box office so far for opening weekend, but dude, it's gonna be $1 billion film. Like,
Easily.
You know,
Hmm.
so I'm not worried about it at all. I think I'm really looking forward to everything that's going to happen with Marvel. Really looking forward where they're going to take Doctor Strange after this. I've gotten the spoilers on the two posts of the movie. Anything that was just fly by night type things. Like people are just like, "Oh yeah, did you hear about this?" And I'll get like a DM. It's like, "Oh great, awesome. I didn't want that, but now it's here." So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So the next order of business, let's talk about She-Hulk.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
She-Hulk got leaked recently, and the release date is August 17th.
Yep.
So where do you think that's going to go? I think they're going to bring Daredevil into that finally. Lawyer and lawyer makes sense. Mark Ruffalo already got announced that he's going to be part of the show. So what do you think is going to happen?
Well, they said they're making it kind of like comedy based, right? So
Yeah,
I think you're gonna have an interesting dynamic between Ruffalo and I forget the actress's name who's playing She-Hulk at this moment. But I think we're gonna get to see an interesting dynamic between them. And I'm just hoping for a good time. I'm expecting it kind of to be like Hawkeye, to be honest with you. Like Hawkeye was just a great show and it was just having a great time. And I think this is gonna be a lot like that.
I mean, I hope so. I hope it's going to be funnier. I hope it's going to be very more Marvel than Hawkeye was.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, I think with She-Hulk, you have a very clear dynamic. I mean, Bruce Banner and Jennifer, I believe her name is. They're cousins.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So seeing that dynamic of she got it through a blood transfusion, and now she's She-Hulk, and just she's the only one that can really control Banner or like go toe to toe with Banner in a situation like that. But if she hulks out too, like on a really bad rage mode, she loses her stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. There's a lot that can go on there. There's a lot of cool dynamics that can happen. You bring in Daredevil, Matt Murdock. You bring in small things like, oh, the secondary character. Any type of character off the Marvel universe, it's a street level character, and it's like, oh, they destroyed the city. So and so, blah blah blah, whatever, and boom, there you go. You know what I mean? You have a really cool setup for introducing characters
Mm-hmm.
and bringing a lot to the Marvel universe on a smaller scale that could eventually turn into a bigger scale. You know.
Yeah.
So what's your hot take on this?
My hot take is it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be one of the better Marvel shows. I think it's gonna be top three. I'm not sure who has what ranked in their top three, but I think it's gonna be a top three show for the simple fact of we've kind of been waiting for this. We're not getting it through the Hulk and Mark Ruffalo, but Jennifer is a Hulk in her own right, and she's a lawyer. And I think, like you said, them being cousins and Mark Ruffalo is great. I love Mark Ruffalo. And I think he's going to shine in this role in this type of atmosphere. And I think it's going to be one of the better Marvel shows.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be up there. I really like Moon Knight. You know, Moon Knight's awesome. That's top three for me right now. Um, I want to say I'm gonna get eaten alive for this, but I'm gonna say Sam Wilson and Winter Soldier is one for me because I like that serious tone of Marvel films. Like Captain America for me is like the best franchise. Then everything else. You know, we've had this conversation. Also, I like Daredevil, but I'm not going to count those in the series of shows because that was a Netflix original, so on and so forth. But Sam Wilson, Winter Soldier, one, or Falcon Winter Soldier, one. Um, Moon Knight, two, then
Mm.
Loki.
Okay.
Those are my top.
Okay. That's fair.
What are yours?
One would have to be WandaVision. Two would have to be Falcon and Winter Soldier. and 3 Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight made it top 3, man.
Yeah,
Hands down.
dude.
And dude, reading everybody's comments, a lot of people's comments, not everybody, but people are just like, oh, it wasn't that great, or um, Oscar Isaac really missed the mark because he's a producer on it. Dude, I don't see how. I don't see how. If you're a real Moon Knight fan, it's there, man. It's just there. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, Moon Knight definitely is in there. Now, if you want to throw like Marvel shows in the mix just to like mix it up a little bit, I mean, yeah, Daredevil's up there. I think Punisher is my favorite out of the whole Netflix series. It's the most brutal. It's the most visceral. It's great, Then
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil. And then everything else. Well, no, let me rephrase that. Not everything else. Then in order, if you really want to go past that point, it's going to be Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. Or not even. Jessica Jones, Defenders, then Iron Fist.
Ah, you're getting technical. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're all in the same show, so why not,
Yeah.
So, in true Marvel conversation fashion, we're going to say it again. Midnight Suns.
We're gonna keep saying it.
We're going to keep saying it.
It's almost trademark at this point. Like, we're just gonna keep saying it.
Midnight Suns has to happen. But before we even get into that, we talked about this. I skipped over it. Keanu Reeves just got cast into the Marvel Universe. There's theories and speculations of what he's going to be doing, because they haven't said what he's doing. And I think it's going to be Doctor Doom. Big feeling it's going to be Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
It's a very strong character. It fits Keanu Reeves. Also, there's a few other things that, if I say it, it gives away a little bit about Multiverse of Madness. Spoilers. So for the next 30 seconds, spoiler alert. Just to let you know. I'm going to wait just a couple seconds. Now. So, John Krasinski is going to direct the new Fantastic Four movie. That's everybody's take right now. He's been in talks for a minute. And with John Krasinski directing any film, that means he's going to star in it. I think he's going to be Mr. Fantastic. So that's all I'm going to say at this point. But with that being said, we're going to go back to everything else. Keanu Reeves got casted, or rather he's in talks right now, and he's finalizing talks, or he already finalized talks with Marvel, is what everybody's saying. My bet's on Doctor Doom. What are your bets?
I hope it's Doctor Doom, but I could also see Ghost Rider. If for whatever reason Norman Reedus can't or won't or doesn't want to, I think that's another potential one for him.
Yeah, I can see that too. I could see him being Johnny Blaze, not Danny Ketch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't get Nicolas Cage multiverse, whatever. But I don't know. I think Doctor Doom's a good call. There was talks that Daniel Craig was casted, or was about to be casted in a movie, Multiverse of Madness to be exact, as a certain character. And I think it would have been a mistake. He would have been a variant, yes, whatever. But if they were to cast anybody as Doctor Doom, I wouldn't mind it being Daniel Craig.
I didn't think about that. That would work.
That just came to me now.
That would totally work.
It would. By the way, whoever's here, feel free to comment. Let us know what you think.
Oh, for sure.
Who would you like to see as Doctor Doom? Who do you want to see as Ghost Rider? Who do you want to see in the Fantastic Four movie? Yeah, just leave it in the comments. This goes for YouTube and Instagram and Just leave it here. Let us know.
Agreed. We love all of it.
Wow, that went down. Whoa. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Wrong pipe
Whoa.
on that one.
Wrong pipe every time. No, everyone makes fun of me because I drink water really, really fast, and I cough all the time with water. All the time. So, all right, going back to it, back to the multiverse stuff. Tom Cruise was in talks to be Iron Man. They confirmed it. Kevin Feige came out and said, hey, look, yeah, we talked to him, but there were scheduling conflicts. It was a problem. But he couldn't make the move. Now, who's to say we don't get him in a future installment?
I mean, they've made Iron Man a staple. I mean, he was the one that really kicked it off. So they made Iron Man a staple. That character is so popular, and largely due to Robert Downey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
But Tom Cruise is great in his own right, and who wouldn't want to see that? Like I said, multiverse, wide open, variants. Anybody who now wants to be in the MCU, whether it be continually or whether it be a one-off or a TV show, like like we talked about earlier, now you can do it because all you have to say is the word variant, and that's it.
Yep. Yep. And that's the thing, man. Like, look, there's a lot of things that can happen here, specifically for the multiverse. They already said that Robert Downey Jr. is going to come back for Ironheart. He's going to be the AI voice for Riri. So, who's to say that Robert Downey's Tony Stark isn't another variant in another universe, and that Tom Cruise's Tony Stark comes out one day, and they both meet in a universe like Secret Wars or Battle World, and make it a really cool like whoever survives, last man standing, so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot that can happen, man. It's just a lot. And then the MonsterVerse, which is also linked to Midnight Suns. So we got Morbius. That's a Sony property. But we all know that Sony plays ball with Marvel. As long as the money's right, they'll play.
Always.
So Midnight Suns is a possibility. Even if without Morbius. We get Blade. Blade's already been confirmed that he's going to come out in a series. They already said that. So, we're going to get Blade. We're going to have Moon Knight. We have the Werewolf by Night special that's coming out during winter for Halloween.
Nice.
There's a lot that can happen. There's so much that can happen.
Agreed. And at this point, I mean, if we don't get it, which I just have a hard time believing because I feel like they're setting it up. Like, Kevin Feige has been doing this for a long time. They already said that they basically got together in a room and figured out the next 10 years.
Yep.
So there's no way. You're introducing Moon Knight. You have Doctor Strange. Like you said, we have Blade coming. There's just no way that we're not going to get it. And at this point, if we don't get it within the next 2 years, it's going to be a huge miss.
Yep. Agreed. 100%. People want the Midnight Suns. There's a video game coming out with the Midnight Suns.
Exactly.
Which is another point where I'm just like, you know what? Just give us the show already. You gave us Defenders, and that was a huge miss. Give us something that's going to hit. You know? The only thing Defenders did was set up for Daredevil Season 3.
Yep.
Which was an amazing season. Left us on a cliffhanger. And we don't even know if we're going to get that fourth season that's linked to the Netflix season. Or the Netflix original idea. Because it's a variant, not even a variant, but it's like it's a variant universe. So, we don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air, but I feel like we have enough pieces on the board or enough pieces in motion to make, and we know this. They've done their version of things and things that make sense within their cinematic universe. but they have enough pieces on the board to assemble, and maybe I think some of the main pieces on the board to assemble some version of Midnight Suns.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny you say the board because the way that Kevin Feige plays it, or Feige, or however you want to say it, the way he plays it is chess. He did 10 years. 10 years, and I think the first 5 years to 7 years was, not even, maybe the first 5 years, were him and Joss Whedon. You know? But at the end of the day, it's all really just Kevin Feige. You know what I mean? So.
Of course. He steers the ship. He's the captain.
Yep. And I trust him. I trust him 100%.
Agreed.
One last thing before we even, because we're about to move on right now in like 4 minutes. We're going to do this as a half an hour show today. But what are your thoughts on X-Men?
Dude, to be honest, X-Men is what got me into comics. I remember the whole aspect of mutants. I thought it was the coolest thing. I remember being a kid, wanting to be a mutant, and just seeing them all what they're genetically, and it's so crazy how they're viewed in their universe as freaks and abominations, and I looked at them as like heroes. I'm like, they genetically were gifted with these powers. So X-Men hold a very special place in my heart. We talked about it. My favorite X-Men is Angel, Archangel.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I think he is amazing. And dude, like the look. I just remember the look itself is what sold me. So yeah, I love the X-Men.
Yeah, I love X-Men too. I think it's no secret that Patrick Stewart was in the movie as the variant of the animated series X-Men in the yellow wheelchair. That's all over the place. That's not a spoiler. That's in the trailers. That's everywhere.
That's in trailers, TV spots, everywhere.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna finally get that. We're gonna finally get the X-Men film that we deserve. Mind you, Days of Futures Past, X2, um, all of them really. Even though a lot of them were hit and miss, but for the most part, we got really okay X-Men.
Yeah.
We need the uncanny X-Men. We need the amazingly awesome, astonishing X-Men. You know? So I'm really excited to see what Marvel's gonna do with that. You know? And Patrick Stewart being there, and he said I don't mind playing it again. I don't mind being Professor Xavier anymore. I remember it died with he said it was gonna die with Logan, but again, it's a variant. So
Anything,
now we got Patrick Stewart, Professor Xavier again. So
which is great because him and James McAvoy did a phenomenal job with that character.
I agree. I agree. And I like certain character and certain character developments and designs, like from Days of Futures Past. Beast looked phenomenal. Cyclops looks great. Nightcrawler, young Nightcrawler, looks great. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just seeing that and seeing where it could develop from and using that as a base could really work. I think it could really work.
I agree. And also, not to mention, what comes with the X-Men is a villain in his own right, or anti-hero. Or,
Like, oh, damn. Okay.
okay.
I didn't expect that to drop in. Hi, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. But yeah, I think with Magneto, it opens the door for so many story arcs, and Magneto is such a great and complex character. I think that could be amazing for the MCU. Like that, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I agree. It could be amazing. And unfortunately, we're out of time right now.
And
But Wednesday night, 9 p.m., usual time, we're going to be back at it. We're going to have a lot more. We're going to talk about everything. Again, games, comics, movies, everything. Then we'll talk about more about this, where the X-Men are possibly heading in the MCU, what the multiverse has in store, all that stuff. But and maybe we'll get some guest artists in here. Let's see, like Angel over here, Son of Saints. Yeah, I know you guys just got here. I'm sorry. um, or Kenny from Weldings. Maybe we can get them in the conversation. I think you can do 4 people in a live cast, in a live podcast. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I'll hit you guys up and see what's up.
yeah.
But I think that's all we have time for today. So sorry guys. Catch this episode on YouTube in the next couple days. We'll make an announcement.
Yes.
And if you're not following PopLink, go ahead and follow us.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. All right, guys. We'll see you later on this week, and I'll see you tomorrow, actually. So,
Yes, we will be talking the talk.
yes. All right, guys. You have yourselves a good night. Bye-bye.
Have a good night, guys. Later.